All right, welcome back to the deep dive. So, have you ever wished that your coding buddy was like an AI
Oh,
genius?
yep.
Well,
I think
today
it's really cool.
we are going to dive into Anthropic's brand new Claude 3.7 Sonnet, and it just might be like the answer to all your coding dreams.
Yeah, it's really causing a stir in the tech world
Yeah.
because I mean, just imagine like an AI that goes beyond like just writing code. Imagine it actually understands the problem that you're tackling and thinks through the steps and even collaborates with you like a real teammate.
That's awesome. And we have got two really cool sources to break this down. First, we've got the official announcement straight from Anthropic, which gives us like the company's
Up
perspective.
straight from the horse's mouth.
And then to get a developer's eye view, we've got a YouTube review by the AI Advantage where they actually put the new tool Claude Code through its paces.
Yeah, and so that's where it gets really interesting, right? It's not just theory anymore. It's like how this tech could actually change the way developers, like you listening, work every day.
So, first things first. What exactly makes Claude 3.7 Sonnet so special? They're calling it the first hybrid reasoning model,
Yeah.
which sounds pretty impressive. But let's break that down a little bit.
Yeah, it's all about combining the best of both worlds, right? Think of it like this. Traditional language models, they're kind of like sprinters, right? They're super fast, but they can't really handle like the long distances. Then you've got your reasoning models, which are more like marathon runners. They can go deep, but they're not very speedy.
Yeah.
Claude 3.7, this is like that rare athlete that can do both. It's fast when you need it to be, but it can also switch gears and really like dig deep into those complex problems.
So it's got like stamina and speed.
Exactly.
Yeah, and here's what I thought was really cool about it. You can actually control how long Claude thinks for. So like if you need a quick answer, you can prioritize speed.
Yeah.
But if you need it to like really, really chew on something complex, you can give it more time to work its magic. It's like having a customizable thought process.
Yeah, exactly. And this is pretty unique actually because most reasoning models, they're separate from the language models. But this integrated approach, it's more like how, we humans think. We kind of seamlessly blend that quick thinking with deep reasoning depending on the situation.
Yeah, we do. Now let's talk about the part that really caught my attention. Claude Code, your new AI coding buddy. This thing it's like straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's really cool. It's like a command line tool that interacts with your actual code. Imagine you're coding away and you can just, in plain English, tell Claude Code to, like, edit files, run tests, even push changes to GitHub. It's like having an AI pair programmer, like, right there with you.
Like actually coding. So in the AI Advantage YouTube review, they built an entire web app in minutes, and Claude Code was right there with them the whole time, like fixing errors, improving the design, even implementing new features based on like really simple commands.
Yeah. And what's remarkable is that this level of, like, agentic coding, it used to be limited to those really expensive specialized tools.
Yeah.
But Anthropic, they're making this freely available, which is huge for developers. It really levels the playing field and gives everyone access to these super powerful capabilities.
So, okay, let's talk benchmarks. Anthropic is claiming some pretty impressive results, especially on something called SWE Bench Verified.
Right, so SWE Bench Verified,
Yeah.
this benchmark is really important because it focuses on real-world coding problems, the kinds of problems that developers face every day, like you. So it's not just about theoretical performance. It's really about how well this AI can handle the challenges that you actually encounter in your work.
Yeah. So the AI Advantage, they made this really interesting point about something called the taste test.
Yeah.
And they said that even when other models like had slightly better benchmarks, developers still prefer working with Claude because the output just feels better. It's like more elegant, more efficient, and easier to understand.
Yeah, and that's a crucial point. Benchmarks don't always tell the whole story. Ultimately, the best tool is the one that helps you get the job done in the most effective and enjoyable way.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, Anthropic is really focusing on building a tool that's not just powerful, but also just a pleasure to use.
Yeah.
And speaking of the future, Anthropic, they have this really interesting vision for how AI will evolve. And they talk about this progression from like assistants to collaborators and then collaborators to pioneers.
Okay, so walk me through that.
Sure. So right now, we're in that assistant phase, right? Where AI helps us with like specific tasks. But as AI gets smarter, it'll become more of a collaborator, working alongside us, as a true partner.
Right.
And then eventually, Anthropic envisions AI as a pioneer, capable of solving problems independently, exploring new frontiers, and even like coming up with solutions that we humans never even considered.
So like AI leading the charge.
Exactly. It's pretty mind-blowing. Makes you wonder, like, what role will humans play in a future where AI is so capable? Like, it's definitely something to think about. And that's what makes this duck dive so important. Understanding these advancements in AI, it's not just about, like, keeping up with the latest trends. It's about preparing ourselves for a future where AI is just deeply integrated into our lives, both personally and professionally.
Well said. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the features that make Claude 3.7 Sonnet so unique. One thing that really caught my eye is the ability to, directly connect to GitHub repositories.
Oh, yeah. Imagine this. Okay. So you're working on a project,
Hmm.
and your AI coding buddy not only understands your current code, but it also has access to your entire project history on GitHub. And so it can make suggestions and provide insights based on, like, everything you've done in the past, leading
Wow.
to a much deeper level of collaboration.
It's like having an AI partner who knows your work, like inside and out, making them an even more valuable asset to your team. And it's not just about understanding your code, it's about understanding you.
Yeah. Right.
Anthropic has emphasized that Claude 3.7 Sonnet learns your coding style, preferences, even your quirks, becoming more personalized over time.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. It's like AI is evolving from a generic tool into, like, a customized assistant, tailored to the specific needs and workflows of each individual user.
It's like having a coding buddy who can anticipate your next move and just always seems to know what you're thinking. Another thing that impressed me was the sheer amount of text that Claude can generate. We're talking up to 128,000 tokens in a single API call.
Yeah. That's the kind of scale that you just get with a truly powerful language model. It means you can ask Claude to generate extensive documentation, write detailed reports, or even, like, create entire applications in one go.
And the AI Advantage put this to the test, right? They had Claude generate a 21,000-word response from a single prompt. That's way longer than what we've seen from other models. And get this, they said that Claude could keep going if they asked it to. So theoretically, there's no limit to how much content it can produce.
It's like having an AI that never runs out of steam. It really highlights the potential, right?
Yeah.
It's not just, like, writing a few lines of code. It's about tackling those really big, complex tasks that normally would take, like, hours, days, or even weeks to complete.
Right. And remember, it's not just about quantity, right? Anthropic says Claude 3.7 Sonnet is actually better at understanding the difference between, harmful and helpful requests. They claim it reduces unnecessary refusals by 45% compared to the previous version.
Yeah, this is huge when it comes to, like, responsible AI development, right?
Yeah.
We want these tools to be super powerful, but we also need them to be, safe and ethical. It sounds like Anthropic is taking those considerations really seriously.
Yeah, I mean, they've even released a whole report detailing their safety evaluations and their approach to scaling responsibly. It's really reassuring to see a company being so transparent about these really important issues.
Absolutely. So, how does Claude 3.7 Sonnet stack up against the competition?
Right.
The AI Advantage Review did a head-to-head comparison with some of the other big names in code generation, like, GPT and Gemini.
Right, and here's the surprising part. Even when those other models had a slight edge in certain benchmarks,
Right.
Claude 3.7 still kind of came out on top in that taste test. The reviewer said developers simply preferred working with it.
Yeah, they found that Claude's code was more elegant, more efficient, and easier to understand. It was less like interacting with a machine and more like, having a conversation with another skilled developer.
So it seems like the AI world is kind of shifting away from just focusing on pure performance and putting more emphasis on the user experience.
Right.
After all, what good is a powerful tool if it's frustrating to use?
Yeah, exactly. And this is where Anthropic's focus on what they call constitutional AI really stands out. They're not just training Claude to be smart. They're training it to be helpful,
Yeah.
harmless, and aligned with, like, human values.
So it's not just about getting the AI to do what you want. It's about making sure it does it in a way that's safe, ethical, and actually makes your life easier.
Exactly.
Right.
And, remember earlier when we were talking about output length?
Yeah.
Well, the AI Advantage, they found that being able to generate, like, longer responses is a huge plus for Claude 3.7. They give it a real challenge. Write a 50,000-word essay.
Wow. Okay, so what happened?
It generated over 20,000 words in a single response.
Wow.
And get this, when they asked it to continue, it kept going. And it produced another 20,000 words.
No way.
That's mind-blowing. Like, imagine the possibilities. You could have Claude generate detailed documentation, write entire reports, even create, the framework for a whole application all in one go.
Yeah, it's like having an AI teammate that can take on those massive time-consuming tasks, freeing you up to focus on, like, the bigger picture. Yeah, totally. So, I mean, Anthropic has talked about AI evolving from assistants to collaborators to pioneers, right? This kind of output length, it definitely feels like we're moving into that collaborator stage, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's not just about like AI doing what it's told anymore. It's about AI working alongside us, as a partner, contributing in a meaningful way.
Right. Okay, let's dig a bit deeper into some of the features that make Claude 3.7 so impressive. One thing that's really cool is its ability to handle complex multi-step reasoning.
Yeah, Anthropic designed Claude to be able to break down difficult problems into smaller, more manageable steps, kind of like how we solve problems as humans.
Right, so it's not just like blindly following instructions. It's actually understanding the context and figuring out the best way to get like from point A to point B.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really important for tasks like coding, where you often have to think through a whole sequence of, logical operations.
Right, and it's not just about like logic either. Anthropic trained Claude on like a massive amount of text and code,
Mm.
which allows it to really understand like the nuances of human language and the complexities of software development.
Yeah, so the difference between someone who just knows the rules of grammar versus someone who can actually write beautifully.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. It's about going beyond just like the surface level and
Right.
understanding the deeper meaning behind what's being said or requested.
Right, exactly. And that brings us back to Anthropic's focus on constitutional AI. They're trying to ensure that Claude is not just intelligent, but also like responsible and ethical.
Right. So it's not just about unleashing the power of AI. It's about doing it in a way that benefits humanity and avoids potential pitfalls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about Claude Code, that command line tool that's been making waves in the developer community.
Right. This is where Claude 3.7 like really comes to life, right? Imagine being able to like interact with your code in a whole new way, using natural language commands to edit files, run tests, push changes to GitHub.
Yeah, it's like having an AI pair programmer who's always there to help you out, whether you're, debugging a tricky error or just trying to like streamline your workflow.
Right. So the AI Advantage review showed just how powerful Claude Code can be, right? They actually built a web application from scratch using just natural language commands.
Yeah, they simply described what they wanted to build in plain English, and Claude Code translated those instructions into working code. It even handled setting up the file structure and installing the necessary libraries.
Wow. So like basically building an app just by telling it what you want. I mean, that is incredible. It really does seem like the future of software development.
Yeah, it really does. And what's even more impressive is that Claude Code can actually learn from your coding style and preferences over time, becoming a more personalized and effective collaborator.
So it's not just about automating like the tedious parts of coding. It's about having an AI partner who can actually help you, think through problems, suggest new ideas, and ultimately like become a more creative and productive developer.
Exactly. And the best part, Anthropic is making Claude Code freely available, which means anyone with a computer and an internet connection can, experience the power of AI-assisted coding.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. I mean, that's a game changer for accessibility, right? It levels the playing field and opens up a world of possibilities for like developers of all skill levels.
Yeah, it really does. And it really aligns with Anthropic's mission to build AI that like benefits humanity. They're empowering people with these tools, not just keeping them, locked away in research labs.
So, I mean, this deep dive into Claude 3.7 and Claude Code has been truly eye-opening, right? We've gone through the technical details, we've seen real-world applications, and we've even like glimpsed into the potential future of AI and its impact on, how we work.
Yeah, and throughout it all, we've seen how Anthropic's commitment to constitutional AI is shaping the development of this technology,
Hmm.
ensuring that it's used responsibly, ethically, and for the benefit of, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. So before we wrap up, I want to like circle back to that idea of the taste test.
Yeah.
How developers preferred working with Claude even when other models had like slightly better benchmarks.
Right.
It's a fascinating concept, right? It suggests that AI isn't just about numbers and algorithms. It's also about creating a tool that like feels right, that aligns with our own sense of like style and taste.
Yeah. It's not just about getting the AI to do what we want. It's about
Mhm.
getting it to do it in a way that's elegant, efficient, and even like a bit beautiful.
Yeah. And that's where Anthropic's focus on constitutional AI becomes even more important, right? They're not just training Claude to be smart, they're training it to be aligned with human values, which includes things like, creativity, empathy, and even a sense of humor.
Right.
So it's about building a machine that understands and appreciates the things that make us human.
Exactly. Now, let's shift gears for a moment and explore a specific example of how Claude 3.7 is being used in the real world, okay? One area where it's making a real impact is in education.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about that.
So teachers are using Claude to create personalized learning experiences for their students, tailoring lessons to individual needs and learning styles.
So it's like having an AI tutor that can adapt to each student's pace and provide customized feedback. That's amazing.
Exactly. And it's not just about delivering information, it's about engaging students in a more interactive and meaningful way. Claude can answer questions, it can explain complex concepts, and even generate creative writing prompts, sparking students' imaginations and encouraging them to, explore new ideas.
It sounds like AI is truly transforming the way we learn and teach.
Yeah, and it's not about replacing teachers, right? It's about giving teachers more time to focus on the things that only humans can do, like building relationships, offering emotional support, and nurturing students' social and emotional development.
Right, so it's about empowering teachers to be even more effective
Mm.
and creating a more engaging and enriching learning experience for students.
Exactly. So this deep dive into Claude 3.7 has been truly enlightening. We've explored the technical details, we've seen how it's being used in the real world, and we've even considered the broader implications of this game-changing technology.
Yeah, for sure. And throughout our exploration, we've seen how Anthropic's commitment to constitutional AI is shaping the future of AI development, ensuring that these powerful tools are used responsibly and for the benefit of humanity. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm honestly left with a sense of awe and excitement about the possibilities that AI holds for the future. It feels we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with AI. It's not just about code anymore, is it?
Oh, no, not at all. We're already seeing AI being used in those creative fields,
Hmm.
music, art, and writing.
Yeah.
It's really, pushing the boundaries of what's possible,
Yeah.
leading to entirely new forms of expression.
It's like AI is becoming a muse almost,
Right?
sparking creativity and helping us to see the world from a fresh perspective.
Yeah, and remember Anthropic's vision of AI as a pioneer. Imagine AI not only helping us with our tasks, but actually taking the lead, discovering new knowledge, inventing new technologies, and challenging our assumptions about, what's even possible.
It's kind of mind-boggling to think that, we might be working alongside an AI that's not just smarter than us, but also more creative and imaginative.
Yeah, it's a humbling thought, but also incredibly inspiring. The future is just full of possibilities, and it seems like AI has the potential to unlock human potential in ways we can't even imagine yet.
Before we wrap up, I do want to touch on something we haven't really discussed yet, the ethical considerations surrounding AI. It feels like there's a lot to consider as this technology becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives.
Oh, absolutely. It's crucial that we develop and deploy AI responsibly and ethically.
Hmm.
We need to ensure that it's used to benefit humanity as a whole and that it doesn't exacerbate, existing inequalities or create new ones.
Yeah, and we've seen some of the potential pitfalls of AI in the news lately, and it's a reminder that we need to be incredibly thoughtful about how we build and use this technology.
Yeah, we need to be mindful of potential bias, discrimination, and misuse. And it's also crucial that we have those open and honest conversations about, the societal impact of AI, ensuring that everyone has a voice in shaping its future.
Right. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about the values that we embed in it and the choices we make about how we use it.
Exactly. And Anthropic's focus on constitutional AI is, a really promising step in the right direction. By building AI that's aligned with human values and, accountable to society, they're setting a high standard for the entire field.
It's a powerful reminder that AI is really a reflection of ourselves. We have a responsibility to shape it in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Well said. And with that, I think we've reached the end of our deep dives into Claude 3.7 Sonnet. We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical details to the ethical implications. And I hope you found it as fascinating and thought-provoking as we have.
It's certainly been a journey, and I'm honestly left with a sense of awe and excitement about the possibilities that AI holds for the future.
And remember, this is just the beginning. The field of AI is constantly evolving. And there's no doubt that we'll see even more amazing advancements in the coming years.
So stay curious, keep learning, and be prepared to embrace the future. It's going to be an incredible ride.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and insights you need to, navigate this rapidly changing world and to make informed decisions about how AI will shape your life, your work, and your world.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Goodbye, and thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Claude 3.7 Sonnet.